So today is the day we leave the British Isles. We're headed back to mainland, headed to France. And what are we going to do tomorrow, kids?
We're going to go to Disneyland.
So this is...
I'm planning for a trip right now.
This is possibly their favorite part of the trip. I guess we'll see. So far, they've had a wonderful trip with everything in Britain, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, Belgium and all the different places.
Countries.
So
You
now,
love what? You love
English-speaking countries.
yes, we've gotten used to speaking only English again, and now we'll head to France, where we don't know much French, and then we'll head through some German-speaking countries and back to Italy, where we have to remember to say ciao and the other stuff that I forgot how to say. But I'm sure we'll pick it up. Yeah, ragazzi. We'll pick it up pretty quick again. But anyways, we're excited to be on the road again. Sadly, we are a little bit late. We enjoyed our wonderful breakfast, and the beds were so comfortable it was hard to get up this morning. So hopefully we'll make it to our ferry in time, because we're supposed to be there an hour early, and if we do not stop at all or hit any slowdowns, we will be there a half hour early. So I guess we'll let you know how this works out. So we've had an amazing trip to England, and we've always been told that it was going to be rainy. And it's so funny because people that we met in Scotland often would say, oh, how'd you do with that heat wave last week? And we're thinking, what heat wave? I mean, the whole entire world is going through a heat wave, it seems, but definitely not in Scotland. It was so much cooler.
70s?
Yeah, 70s, 80s at the most. And when we were in Scotland, it had started to cool down even to like 60s. But anyways, I'm showing you this because it is raining today, and this is the first day that we've had that infamous UK rain that they say is quite common in the summer. But thankfully it was just overcast yesterday, and it's raining today. As we're leaving England, it was the perfect trip, and we had the perfect weather for our trip. We rounded the corner and saw the Dover Castle on the left. We were really excited because we thought, hey, we might just make it in time for our ferry. But that excitement was short-lived because we rounded another bend, and as you see, the castle is up there ahead on the left, and we are sitting in traffic. We did not make it into the ferry yard yet, and we did not know why there was backup. We thought maybe an accident. So we left later than we wanted to this morning, but we still had enough time to get on to the ferry. Well, that has changed. Where we had, there was an accident slowdown for like a half hour at...
Devonshire?
No, it was Dartmouth. And then there was another one at Canterbury. And now we are in a major slowdown. Yeah, we're at the port. Like, we can see the port right there. In fact, up there are the cliffs of Dover. You can see right by the castle, which we saw earlier in the trip. But now, the only good thing is, we've definitely missed our ferry by now. The only good thing is a lot of other people have too. So hopefully they'll be understanding. I think I have a flexi ticket because I was afraid of something delaying us at some point in time. So hopefully they're understanding and we can just get through, and since they're so backed up, hopefully they're in a hurry too. At this point we were literally parked here waiting for the traffic to go anywhere. But thankfully we had audiobooks to listen to. We were getting a little bit hungry because the snacks were running low, but we made it. Although a bathroom would have been really nice. So that was crazy. Evidently this is the first day of British holiday, summer holiday, and we literally waited in line in our car, inching forward inch by inch for over 3 hours. And that was after stopping in traffic, and that was after we had been in stop and go traffic 3 other times, and it was only supposed to take 4.5 hours to get here. Thankfully they put us on the 1640 ferry. We were supposed to be on the 2 o'clock ferry, but hey, and we're going to Calais instead of Dunkirk, but who cares? We can just it's not saving us any time. It just is what it is. So after we get there and we eat this wonderful food, are you so excited? Last official fish and chips of Britain.
Well, fish and chicken for me.
Oh yeah, chicken and chips for you. So anyways, it feels so good to be out of the car and to be on a ship, because you get kind of worried when you're sitting there like, are they just going to put us on a ship or what's going to happen? So it worked out. We were able to spend some time on the deck and breathe in the beautiful fresh air. The ferry ride's about 90 minutes, but due to the time change, it actually was an hour that we lost coming across. And as you see here, the ferries were beautiful, laid out very well. There was an area that you could always buy things at, and when you were on the ferry and it was open to purchase, it was actually duty-free, which meant there were no taxes. So if there's something you wanted, you could buy it tax-free on the boat. And they only took pounds at this point, but when we get to land, we'll be going back to euro since we will be in France. So back to the delay at the port. It was the first day of English holiday, and fingers were pointed back and forth as to if it was France's fault or if it was the UK's fault. Either way, there was a lot of backing up at the port, and we actually made it out of there pretty easy compared to a lot of others. We spoke to an English family a few days later, and they said that they waited in line for 12 hours, and we even saw it reported that some people waited up to 17 hours. So definitely the 3 hours that we complained about were nothing compared to that, thankfully. Well, now that we made it back to France, we are now driving on the right side of the road again instead of the left side. Not gonna lie, after a few weeks of driving on the left side, I had to remind myself to stay on the right side of the road. And we were back to measuring distance in kilometers instead of miles per hour. Well, now we're headed to Serres, which is close to Disneyland and a little ways from Paris. It's about a 3.5 hour drive to our Airbnb, and we should get there around midnight. Tomorrow we're headed to Disneyland. Au revoir! But our travel buddies are keeping us company as we sit in traffic.
Good piper.
He is.
What song is that? Scotland the Brave.